Okay, so this evening we're going to look at another way of storing information in Python, which comes with Python out of the box, and that is what's known as a dictionary. Okay, uh, dictionaries allow you to access information using something which is known as a key. So if you have got this particular key, you can access a certain piece of information which is associated with that particular key. Is that clear? When we looked at lists and tuples, we could access information based on the position of the particular item. So if we wanted something, we would say the name of the list of the tuple, then in square brackets you put in the index. That's how we accessed information with the list and the tuple. With a dictionary, dictionaries don't have indices, but instead they have keys, and these are the keys which we're going to use. So we are going to see how to create a dictionary. Start with an empty one, then one which has got stuff and how to access things, then how to create new keys, how to modify values in the dictionary. So we're going to see how to create a dictionary, how to access values in the dictionary, how to add a new key to a dictionary, how to modify values, how to remove a key and a value, how to nest dictionaries, how to nest a list in a dictionary. This is basically, to nest is to store something inside something, or how to nest a dictionary inside a dictionary, how to nest a dictionary inside a list. We're going to see this, how to clear a dictionary and how to delete a dictionary. So in a dictionary, one of the major differences is, of course, dictionary contains a collection of information. Okay, it contains a collection of information, but it is how that information is stored. That's one of the major differences between a dictionary and what we have looked at so far. The information is stored in this format. You store information as a key, then after the name of after the key, then you put a colon, then the value. So this tells Python, say, this key is associated with this particular value. So you store information in pairs. A pair which is made up of a key and a value, and each key value pair is separated by commas. So a key value pair is separated by a colon. So you've got a key, then you put a colon, then a value, like that. Then once you have these key value pairs, you can separate them from each other, of course, like you have done before, using commas. And everything, of course, is enclosed in curly brackets. Last week, we used the curly brackets for sets. When you use a curly brackets for sets, you don't include, you just put your values there. And there is a property that your values can only appear once in a set. In a dictionary, you also use curly brackets, but the information is stored in key value pairs. Is that clear?
Yes.
We're going to see how to do this. It's not difficult. Now, what kind of data can be a key, and what kind of data can be a value? Basically, anything you want. Like we have looked at integers, you have looked at strings, those can be keys. And when it comes to a value, you can have things like lists, another dictionary, a tuple. They can also be, excuse me, they can also be values. Okay, so we're going to see how to do this. Basically, I think it will be much easier if we actually try to make something and see how it works. So to start with, you can create a dictionary, an empty dictionary. This is a dictionary which does not have any key value pairs, and this is how you can do it. Like the same way you created a set with curly brackets. Let's hope this thing works. So there. Now I don't know how or if. Oh, there's a connection happening. The difference is what you put inside. That's what lets Python know that you're creating a dictionary or you're creating a set. So our focus today is on dictionaries. And if you check the data type, what does it tell us by default? You see? Now it's telling us that this thing is a dictionary. I don't know exactly how it knew that it's a dictionary, but basically that's how you do it. Okay? So you create an empty dictionary, then you pass it to type. Now you get a dictionary like this. Now, so basically, for you to create a dictionary, you need a pair of curly brackets. What do we mean when we say we can store information as a key value pair? For example, I create a dictionary here which doesn't have a name yet. It's going to have a name later on. This first part, okay, this first part, and you can see there's a colon here. Can you see this colon?
Yes.
So before the colon there's something, after the colon there's something. So the value which is before the colon, that's what this is. That's a key. Okay, the value before the colon, that is the key. In our case, the value before the colon is a string, and that string is Zambia. Then after the colon, there is another value, a string. This is Lusaka. There is a relationship between these two pieces of information. There's Zambia, then Lusaka. If we are very fast, you quickly realize that Lusaka is the capital of Zambia. Zambia is the country, and the capital is Lusaka. So we have actually stored the name of a country and its associated capital city. Is this clear?
Yes.
So you can store pieces of information which are related like this, where you separate them by columns. In this case, Zambia is the key. Lusaka is the value. So if you want to access Lusaka, you need to use the key Zambia. So whatever this thing is, its name is, of course, when eventually we're going to give it a name. Okay? You need to use the key Zambia for you to access Lusaka. Is that clear? So we run this.
Yes.
So this is what we get. We get dictionary. This bit is the value, Zambia. Then the other bit, sorry, this bit, the first bit is the key, Zambia. Then after the colon, what follows is the value. So this is another way of storing information. If we get this thing, we give it to the type function, then we ask what it is we are dealing with. The type function tells us that we're dealing with a dictionary, a dict. Is this clear?
Yes. So from the way I'm understanding the way the dictionary works, it's like, for example, you can have a particular word, or let's say matter. So you can take matter as the key, and then value you can define it, isn't it?
Look at what we have here. Zambia, this is the
Yes.
key. The value, Lusaka.
So,
Here, another key, Angola, the value,
Rwanda.
Rwanda. They are paired. You always pair a key to a value.
Okay.
The information has to be related in some way. The key and the values have to be related in some way. Here you have Namibia, then the key, the value, Windhoek. Here with the key, Botswana, the value, Gaborone. Zimbabwe, the key, the value, Harare. South Africa, the key, the value, Pretoria. Mozambique, the key, the value, Maputo. Malawi, the key, the value, Lilongwe. Tanzania, the key, the value, Dodoma. What do you see? What's the connection between these keys and values? Is there any connection between the keys and the values?
The values are found in the key.
What do you mean the values are found in the key?
Like, since we have countries, those countries are those cities are found in those countries which have been given.
What are the keys?
The countries.
The keys are names of countries, right?
Yes.
And the values?
Those are the cities found in those countries.
Are these just cities? Any cities?
No, they're cities.
Yes, they're capital cities of these countries.
Yes, they're capital cities.
Yes, so there is a relationship between the value and the key. So you can store information like this. When we do this and we run it, and remember, each key value pair is separated from the next key value pair by a comma. So key value pairs are separated from one another by commas. When we run this, Python does not protest. It says, okay, fine. And look at something. You see something which is related to something you've seen with a set, right? I started with Zambia, remember? Can you see this? Yes. I started with Zambia and Lusaka. But what did Python start with?
With Angola.
Angola and Rwanda, right? Followed by Botswana and Gaborone. Botswana and Gaborone are somewhere here. Okay? Then after that, there's Malawi and Lilongwe. Malawi and Lilongwe is somewhere here. This thing where Python kind of like displays things the way it wants. You've got no control over how your dictionary is going to be displayed. You just make it. Then Python displays the way you make it, the order in which you put the things. That's not exactly how things are going to be displayed. Is this clear?
Yes.
This is coming from the set. This behavior is coming from this. Do you remember the sets we did?
Yes.
This behavior is coming from the sets. Where if you make a set, then you try to display that set. Python displays it whichever way it displays it. The reason is very simple. It's because dictionaries don't have indices. Okay? Dictionaries don't have indices. That is the reason why. And the other thing is, if you remove the colon and the value, the colon and the value, the colon and the value, remove the colon and the value, the colon and the value, what you remain with is a set. Is this clear?
Yes, please.
If you remove the colon and the value, the colon and the values for each key, what you remain with is a set. So basically, a dictionary is an extension of a set. A set is just made up of the keys. Angola, Botswana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe. That's a set. These things, these keys, these Angola, Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, they are allowed to appear only once. You can't have multiple Zambia Lusaka things. It will not work. You end when Python does. We can try to create another one here. Let's try to do that. We can try to create another Zambia somewhere. Zambia something. Somewhere here. Zambia, South Africa. We put another one at the end here. Zambia, Lusaka. We run it. Okay. Have you seen? I've added how many Zambia, Lusaka? How many are there? There is this one here. There is this one here. There are 3. But how many Zambia, Lusaka do you see in the printout?
Just one.
Just one. Why do you see just one? It's because the dictionary is a set. Is this clear?
Yes, it is.
Yes. A dictionary is a set. A dictionary is a set where each set value, you put a colon, then you give it another value, so that that particular value of a set is associated with some other value. Okay? So it doesn't matter how many times a key appears. When it comes to how many times, the rules for the set apply also to the dictionary. An item, a key value pair, can only appear once. Okay? It's like if you try to add a key value pair which already exists, nothing is going to happen. It's like a set. You have a value in a set, then you try to add the same value. Nothing is going to happen. Are we clear?
It's very clear.
Okay. So, what is the data type of this thing we have created? When we get this thing, then we give it to Python. Say, Python, tell us what kind of magic we have done here. This thing. We give it to Python. What is it? Where is my mouse? Somehow my mouse is misbehaving. There, if we run that, we run this. Python tells us it's a dictionary. Okay. The same way we did with sets, the same thing we did with lists, the same thing we did with tuples. If you have a list, if you have a tuple, if you have a set which is large, has got a lot of values, Python allows you to store your dictionary in a variable so that it's easy for you to access it. And that's what we do here. So we decide to store this dictionary, Dodoma, we decide to store it in capitals. So now I no longer have to type this whole thing, or I no longer have to do copy and paste it. I can just say capitals, then I should be able to access all those things. If I print capitals, this is what I get. Zambia, Angola, Namibia, Windhoek, there. That's what I get. Okay, then I ask for the data type. What kind of thing is capitals? I ask for the data type using the type function. The type function tells me this is a dictionary. So this is a much better way of working with these things which contain data. These lists, tuples, sets, uh, Python dictionaries. These things are called data structures or data containers. They can contain a lot more information than just one piece of information. Okay, so in computer programming and computer science, these things, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, these things are called data structures. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
now that we have our dictionary in a variable and we can access it, how then do we access our values? Remember, this dictionary is coming from a set. It has behaviors of a set. Okay? It's like I can say that a dictionary is an improved set. Okay? If it is a set, then it means that it has no indices. The idea of position in a dictionary in a set does not exist. Are we clear?
Yes.
The idea of position, first item, second item, third item, last item, second last item, third last item, doesn't exist. But what if now I want to access, for example, I want to access the capital city of Botswana? I want to access the capital city of Angola. There has to be a way for me to access this information. Okay? And that's where a key comes in. You provide the key. Once you provide the key to the name of the dictionary, then you can access those items. Now, your dictionary might be very long. You might try to print it, but it's very possible that your dictionary might be very long. And you're looking for keys. So it might not be possible for you to do this. Say, to do this, what I'm doing now. To look for all the keys. Okay, this, it might not be possible for you to do this because your dictionary might be very large. So how do you get the keys of a dictionary? And how do you get the values? Luckily, Python comes to the rescue in this case where you are looking for keys and values. It provides you with a method, a function, a method which allows you to access a list of keys. It also provides you with another method called values, which allows you to access a list of values. So without printing your capitals, you can access all the keys, you can access all the values using these two methods. Okay? Keys and values. Let's see how it works. For you to use a method, remember, for you to use a method is a function which works only with a particular data structure. That's what a method is. A method is a function which works only with a particular data structure. Then a function works with anything. And we have seen multiple times how to use methods. So in this case, since we are dealing with dictionaries, we type the name of the dictionary. This is a dictionary, capitals. Then we put a dot, then the name of the method. We want the keys. The name of the method is keys. You don't have to give it anything. You just say capitals.keys. When you say capitals.keys, it's going to give you a list of dictionary keys here. Dict keys, dictionary keys, and you get a list of them. Zambia, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Mozambique, Malawi, Tanzania. Those are the keys which are in that dictionary. Is this clear?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
This is a list of keys. This, what you have now is a list of keys. What this means is that if this is a list of keys, what this means is that anything so far you've done with lists can also work on this thing, this result. So if you get, say, capitals.list.keys, you store it in a variable somewhere. Okay? What you have is a list which you can work with. Okay? Similarly, it's possible for you to retrieve the values of a dictionary using the values method. So you start with the name of the dictionary, which is capitals, then you put a dot, then the name of the method, values. You run it. Here you get dict values, dictionary values. You get a list of dictionary values: Lusaka, Luanda, Windhoek, Gaborone, Harare, Pretoria, Maputo, Lilongwe, Dodoma. Is this clear?
Yes.
So we have accessed all the keys. We have accessed all the. So now we know what are the names of all the keys. Okay, and we also know what are the values. Is that? Can you see that? Zambia associated with Lusaka here in the values. Zambia, Lusaka, Angola, Rwanda, Namibia, Windhoek, Botswana, Gaborone, Zimbabwe, Harare, South Africa, Pretoria, Mozambique, Maputo, Malawi, Lilongwe, Tanzania, Dodoma there. So now we can access. We know what all the keys are. We also know what all the values are. Okay? How do you access a particular value? For example, I want the value associated with Zambia without an index. So you use a key. You say capitals, the name of the dictionary, then square brackets, then inside here you put the key associated with that value. The key associated with this, the value associated with this key is Lusaka. So this is how I get Lusaka. Capitals, then square brackets, then inside there I put the key Zambia. If I want the value associated with the key Malawi, say the name of the dictionary, capitals, then Malawi. Like this. Is this clear?
Yes.
Rachel?
Very clear.
Okay. There is another method which I'm going to introduce. What this method basically does is, you know, when those guys who teach English, like fill in the blanks. There is a sentence, then they rub off a word which they expect the student to fill in. They draw a line. They write the kind of a line so that you can fill in whatever the thing is supposed to be. You know that?
Yes.
Yeah, where somebody is doing English stuff, maybe it's like a paragraph, they've removed certain words. Then they expect the student to fill in those words.
A clause, right?
I don't know what you call it. I was very poor at English.
It's called a clause.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So, I don't know if we should do that. Let's not do that.
So, sir, what about if we use the in function? Can it work?
I don't want to. Okay, I'll explain what this does. Okay, so basically here, I want to say the capital of dash, whatever, this thing here, I've put braces there. It's a placeholder. Okay, it's like that dashed line, that line where you're supposed to put the word. I don't know if this is the best way of doing this. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. So it's a placeholder is this. So then, as you can see, this is a, what is this? It's red. What is this? This red bit. What kind of things are red in Python? Sorry?
Pardon?
This red bit, what is it? This thing in commas, in quotation marks.
The capital.
Yes, this thing I've highlighted. This thing in quotation marks. Have you seen the quotation marks? This.
Yes.
And it's red. What is it? What is it? What do you call it?
A variable.
No, it's not a variable. Variables are not red. Variables are black.
Let's see. It's a list.
Huh? Is there a distinction between the... Sorry?
Pardon?
Is there a difference between this color and this color?
There is one which is looking, there's one which is appearing greenish.
Not the greenish one. I'm talking about this.
If something is red, then they are weights.
What do we call it
Weights.
in Python? What word is what do we call them?
Let's see.
Text which is in quotation marks. What do you call that?
Those are items.
Huh?
Are they not items?
Clearly, you guys have not read. A string.
Yes, string. I just forgot.
No, it's not about forgetting. That's not nice.
That's not the reading. That's the
No, because me what I can remember, they are green for comment, black for the signs and variables, blue for booleans, and then red for weights. But I forgot the name.
So this is a string.
For letter.
Anything, a collection of characters which we put in quotation marks. That is a string. Okay? So basically, what we have here is a string. Then we have created spaces where we're going to store other strings. So in this case, when you have a string like this, a string, then you put a dot, then you call this method called format, then you give it a string Zambia, then you give it this capitals Zambia. We know capitals Zambia gives us this. It gives us Lusaka. Okay? Is this clear?
Yes.
When you do this, let me explain what's happening here. When you do this, what's going to happen is this Zambia is going to be put here. It will be put here. So these curly brackets will disappear. They will be replaced with Zambia. So it's going to read, the capital of Zambia is, then this second pair of curly brackets, they will be replaced by this. Okay? We know capital Zambia gives you Lusaka. So this, basically what's going to print out is, the capital of Zambia is Lusaka. Is that clear? Let's see how it works. That's what's going to print out. The capital of Zambia is Lusaka. This has been replaced by Zambia. This has been replaced by this. That thing is Lusaka. This capital Zambia, that is Lusaka. The capital of Zambia is Lusaka. If you change Zambia and capitals, then capitals comes first. capital Zambia comes first, then Zambia comes later. Then you run this. So basically what's going to happen is capital Zambia, which is Lusaka, is going to be put here. The capital of Lusaka is, then Zambia will be put there. Just a minute. That's what you end up with. The capital of Lusaka is Zambia. Have you seen what's happening there?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, you can actually, so what I'm showing you here is a way you can use lists. Dictionaries. You can access their values, and those values you can use them somewhere. Okay? Now, this, so far we have typed this twice. The capital of brackets placeholder is this. Then we have also done it here again. The capital of this is that. When you do something more than once, it tells you maybe this thing you're typing over and over, maybe you should store it in a variable. Okay? If you are repeating exactly the same thing over and over, typing it, maybe you should store it in a variable. And that's what we do. So we decide, say, okay, fine, we are going to store the capital of whatever it is, we are going to store it in a variable called text. Is this clear? This is a string. We have done this before.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a string. You can store a string in a variable. Like that. Then, instead of typing the capital of whatever it is, then we can just say text dot format Zambia capital. And that's going to give us the capital of Zambia is Lusaka. Or we can say text dot format Malawi capital is Malawi. Then we get the capital of Malawi is Lilongwe. We can do that. It's up to you what you want to do. Is this clear? This format is a method. It is a method that we use to make strings look a bit more like formatted, basically. So that's why it's called format method. It tells you, the name format tells you, you use this to format something. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically what we have just shown here is that you can use dictionaries in combination with strings by doing this. Combination with strings by doing that. Okay.
So when you do that, it means that it must be in one bracket, but then there must be those commas and even the word format, it must be written as well.
This format?
Yes.
Yeah, format has to be written. That format is what is replacing this in here.
Oh, okay.
That's what format is doing. It gets this value, it puts it in the curly brackets. That's what format is doing. So if you say text, remember your text, it says the capital of these brackets, then is this brackets. Then if you text dot format, so format is going to get this value, Zambia, it's going to put it in that first curly bracket. Then the capitals Zambia is going to put it there, which is Lusaka. Then you end up with the capital of you don't when you use, you don't see the curly brackets, you see the value that has been replaced there. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like the way the English thing works. The thing we're talking about, that English exercise, where you replace the words. Okay?
Yes.
Alright. Next, let's see how to add a key to a dictionary. Now, remember, a dictionary comes from a set, right? Right?
Yes.
That means that if a dictionary comes from a set only allows one appearance of a value. It means that you can only have one copy of a key value pair. Okay? So you can't add a key value pair which already exists to a dictionary. Nothing is going to happen. The only thing you can do is you can only add a new key value pair, a key value pair which does not exist in a dictionary. Is this clear?
Yes.
You can't add an already existing key value pair. Let's print out capitals. So here we have Zambia, Lusaka, Angola, Rwanda, like that. If you look carefully here, we don't have Kenya. Okay? We don't have Kenya. So how do we add Kenya in Nairobi? This is how you do it. So you start with the name of the dictionary, which is capitals, then the key. In this case, we're talking about the country, Kenya. It doesn't exist yet, but it's fine. Okay? Then after this, then there's an assignment, equal sign assignment. Then the value you want to be associated with this key. Is this clear? Capitals, the dictionary, then square brackets. Inside the square brackets, you put the key, which is the country, then an equal sign, one equal sign, then after the equal sign, the value you want to be associated with the key. Does this make sense?
Yes.
When we do this, run that, okay, then we print dictionary again. Right, then we check. Has something new appeared? Yes, at the end. There is that guy, the key Kenya, then a colon, then the value Nairobi. You see that?
Yes.
You can only add a new key value pair, a key value pair that already doesn't exist. If you try to add something which already exists, nothing will happen. Similarly, you can add this key value pair. Ethiopia as the key, Addis Ababa as the value. So here, the name of the dictionary, capitals, then the key is Ethiopia, then the value we want to associate with Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, the capital. Then we print that. So we end up with there, Ethiopia, then Addis Ababa. The other thing, what do you notice about where Kenya and Ethiopia were added? You notice anything?
Are they not behaving as variables there?
Kenya and Ethiopia, where were they added in this dictionary? Were they added at the beginning, in the middle, at the end?
Should be at the end.
What can you see? You can't say it should be at the end one. What are you seeing?
No, I can only see part of the. Okay, it's at the end. I can see Ethiopia, and then Addis Ababa at the end.
Yeah. So when you
So, like these which have been just added, like the first one that was added, it is following each other. It's being added to the end.
yes, added to the end of the dictionary. There, Kenya, Nairobi, added at the end. Ethiopia, Addis Ababa added at the end, like that. Okay, so that's how you add new key value pairs. The key is here, it has to be new. If it's already existing, it's not going to be added. If a key value pair already exists, it won't be added. It has to be new. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions?
No.
Hmm?
No.
Okay. You are allowed to modify the value associated with the key. For example, if you're not happy that the capital of Botswana, let's check the capital of Botswana. The capital of Botswana is Gaborone. Then you're not happy that the capital of Botswana is Gaborone. You are allowed to change it. You are allowed to change the value associated with the key. So in this case, you say the name of the dictionary, that's capitals, then the key is Botswana. This is a key. You are not allowed to change the key. You are allowed to change the value associated with the key. So you can change, say, okay, well, I no longer want Gaborone to be the capital of Botswana. I want it to be Francistown. You can do this. You are using, for you to modify the value associated with the key, that key already has to exist in the dictionary. Is that clear?
Yes.
For you to make a modification of a key value pair, the key already has to be in the dictionary. So we say, fine, we want to change the value associated with Botswana to Francistown. There. Then now we print out what is the new capital city for Botswana. Now it is Francistown, like this. Again, Zambia. And then we have got our friends in the Copper Belt who say Copper Belt is a different country, so we can change the capital city to Ndola for Zambia. Here, capitals, the key Zambia already exists. Then we change the value associated with the key. Now it's Ndola. Then we print out capitals, Zambia. Now we get Ndola. Then when we print out capitals, now you notice Zambia has a capital Ndola. Botswana has the capital Francistown. You'll notice something here, that these modifications we have made, okay? These modifications we have made are not temporary, okay? These modifications are permanent. Is that clear?
Yes.
The modifications we've made of Botswana to Francistown, Zambia to Ndola, they are permanent. Okay, so that's how you change. We have seen how to add a new key value pair. We have also seen how to modify an existing key value pair. Okay? If you're adding a new key value pair, the key should not be there. Because if the key is already there, the only thing you're going to do is a modification. Okay. Any questions?
So far, so good.
Okay. You are also allowed to remove a key and a value associated with that key. For example, here, since I'm not happy that Ndola is the capital of Zambia, I'll say capitals, delete capitals Zambia. When I do this using the delete function like that, Then I print out capitals. Now you have got Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Harare, South Africa, Mozambique, Maputo, Malawi, Tanzania, Kenya, Ethiopia, no Zambia. I have deleted the key Zambia and its value. So when you delete a value, the value and the key, they both get deleted. This thing, capital Zambia gives us dollar, right? That's what we got somewhere here, right? You've seen this. Remember? Capital Zambia gives us dollar, right?
Yes.
So when we say delete capital Zambia, what we are deleting is dollar. So when you delete a value dollar, at the same time it also deletes the key Zambia.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. It also deletes the key Zambia. Any questions?
So far, so good.
Okay. This thing called nesting a list in a dictionary. What this basically means is that the value of a dictionary, right now the value is a small thing. Malawi, the value is Lilongwe, right? Tanzania, the value is Dodoma. That's just a word or the name of a capital city, right? However, it's possible that the value of a dictionary can be a list. Are we clear?
Yes.
The value of a dictionary can be a list. So I don't know how much football you follow, but this is what I have. This is at some point when the English were playing their football. So the first 4 positions, I create a bunch of lists here. So the lists, this is pause for position. Then I say 1, 2, 3. Then clubs, Liverpool, Man City, Leicester City, Chelsea. Then MP, matches played. These were the matches played by that particular time. Then the wins, 27, 18, 16, that. Then the draws, the losses, the goals forward, goals scored by each team, then goals scored against each team, GD, the goal difference, then how many points each particular team had at that particular point. As you can see, this is a list. Pause is a list. Clubs, this is a list. MP, it's a list. W, it's a list. D is a list. L is a list. GF is a list. GA is a list. GD is a list. PTS, it's a list. These are lists. These lists, we can actually store them as values in a dictionary. For example, I create a dictionary called EPL table 2020, the Premier League table 2020. Then this is a dictionary I create. Then I start with the key position. That is a key because it comes before the column. But look at the value associated with this key. Position, the value is this, pos. That is a list. Then I create another key, club. It's a key because it comes for a column. Then look at the value associated with club. Clubs, that's a list. Matches played, that's a key. The value, MP. Wins, that's a key. The value is a list, W. Draws, that's a key. The value is D. Draws, this D. L, losses, that's a key. The value is L. It's a list. Goes forward, that's a key. The value associated with goes forward is GF. This is a list. Goes allowed, that's a key. The value associated with this thing is this list, GA. Goal difference, This is the key. The value associated with this is GD. Points. The value associated with this is this list. If I run this, then I print it. This is what I get. Position. The key position. The value associated with the position is a list. Club. The value is this list. Matches played. That's a key. The value is this list. Wins. The value is this. Like that. Do you see what has happened?
Yes.
You can, the values of your dictionary can be lists. However, the other way is not allowed. Lists cannot be keys of a dictionary. You cannot make a list to be a key. Lists, tuples, sets are not allowed. Even dictionaries themselves are not allowed to be the key of a dictionary. Is this clear? They are allowed to be values of a dictionary.
It's clear.
These other things like numbers, like integers or floats, strings, these are allowed to be keys. Okay? But lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries are not allowed to be keys. They are only allowed to be values. This is what's known as nesting.
Kindly repeat that one, sir. The network was breaking.
I was saying, I was saying, lists.
So let me try to explain. Yes, so what you are saying is that lists cannot be a key.
In a dictionary.
Yes, in a dictionary.
They are not allowed to be keys.
Tuples, sets, all those are not allowed to be keys. Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Because they have many things in them. Okay.
That creates a problem. However, you can have a number, a string, a float. Those can be keys. Already we are using strings here, right? Weights. Weights can be keys. Okay. If we ask Python, what is it that we have created? What is it we think we have created? EPL table 2020. Python tells us we have created a dictionary. If we have created a dictionary, then this dictionary should have keys and values, right? We should be able to access all the keys of this dictionary using the key value, using the method keys. So EPL table 2020 dot keys. We should be able to get all the keys, and we get all the keys. We get dict keys. This is a list of the keys. Position, these are the keys. Club, matches played, wins, draws, losses, goes forward, goes allowed, go difference points. These are the keys. We should also be able to get the values. If this thing is a dictionary, we say EPL table 2020. Remember this values method from the beginning? Do you remember it?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you do that, this is what it gives you. It gives you the dictionary values. So you get this list. 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 All these things all the way up to the end. So basically, That's what is known as nesting a list in a dictionary. Basically, it means using a list as a value in a dictionary. Okay. Once you have a dictionary like this, you can do a couple of things. For example, you want the clubs in this dictionary. So you put in the key club, say EPL table 2020, then square brackets, you say club. When you do this is what you get. What does that look like? Liverpool, Man City, Leicester City, Chelsea. What does that look like? What data structure is that?
Looks like a list.
It is a list. It's not like a list. It is a list.
It is a list.
Yes. Because if you get this, all of this whole thing, you get which produced this. Okay? You get this thing. The result is this. So what produced that is this. You get this. You give it to this guy, the type function. What is it that I've actually done when you do this? What do I produce? Type tells you we produce a list. You see how useful type is?
Yes.
Very, very handy. Very, very useful. Never disappoints. Just does the same job over and over again. No matter how something looks complicated, just cut it, give it to type, then type will tell you if it actually makes sense. So if that is a list, so if this thing gives us a list, right, which is Liverpool, Man City, Leicester City, and Chelsea, we can actually do something. If it's a list, then we can access things inside that list using another. How do we access things in a list? How do you access an item in a list?
You use the in key.
Yes. The indices.
You
Use
use-
the index.
Yes, you use for you to access items in a list, use an index. We know to say this thing here, EPL table 2020 club. This is a list. We know this. As we can see from there, this is a list. So how do I access the first item in this list? I put that. I put another pair of square brackets. Then in that pair of square brackets, I put the position of the item in the list. Does this look familiar?
Yes.
What is this called? This
Which one?
process where you use two pairs of square brackets. The first square bracket, you put something there, then the second square bracket, you put something there. What is this called?
That's indexing.
No. Rachel?
Something that is slicing.
Slicing, you need to put a colon.
Okay.
This is what's known as subsetting. You remember the word subsetting?
Yes.
Subsetting?
Yes.
Yeah, subsetting.
Yes, I remember
Yeah,
that one.
subsetting. This. Subsetting. A subset. This is what we learn. This subsetting works with lists, but somehow it also works with these guys. So this is how we get our Liverpool, right? And we get Liverpool there. And remember, Liverpool were the champions last season. So it's like fine, okay. So let's store them in a variable called champions. So this whole thing, we store it in a variable called champions. Then we print out champions. There we get Liverpool. So okay, fine. Then we move on to another key. EPL table 2020 points. EPL table 2020 points. This gives us a list of points, right? Then we know that the first item here corresponds to Liverpool. So we want to get this first number here. The points Liverpool, who are the champions, how many points they get at this particular point of the season. That's where that subset comes in. This, we add another square brackets, then you put in the position first. 82. Then this 82, we want to store it as championship points. That we know, this whole bit we know is 82. We want to say, fine, these are the points Liverpool had at this particular point. We want to store them as championship points. Okay. There. Then we print out championship points. So we can say this. Print, remember this? This is a placeholder. We're going to put something there. Won the 2020 Premier League league with, we'll put something here again, so many points. So who are we putting there? We use format. Champions will be put here. The champions, as you can see, is Liverpool. So Liverpool, we're going to say Liverpool won the 2020 English Premier League with championship points. Championship points is 82. So it should say Liverpool won the English Premier League with 82 points. If we run this, if everything is okay, you see, that's what we get. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
Again, just to emphasize, just for emphasis here, nearly anything can be stored as a dictionary value. Nearly anything can be stored as a dictionary values. Strings, you can have strings as dictionary values, floats, integers, booleans, lists, tuples, even dictionaries themselves can be stored as dictionary values. Okay? When you store a dictionary as a dictionary value, it's similar to what we did with that thing called list of lists. Do you remember that? That list called wildlife, which was made up of insects, animals, and fish.
Yes.
That list of lists. You can actually create something like that. A list, a dictionary of dictionaries. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the key here is complex data such as dictionaries, lists, and tuples cannot be used as a key. Data which is complex, data structures like lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, you can't use those as keys. You're not allowed to use those as keys. The only ones you're allowed to use as keys are these simple ones: floats, integers, booleans, like that. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. What other thing do we have next? Nesting a dictionary in a dictionary. This is where you put a dictionary inside a dictionary. Okay. For example, this is the name. I'm going to create a bunch of dictionaries. First student, the name of the first student, first name, Chabo, last name, Sunga, and the email address of the student. These were actual students for last year. So I say first name, then I print out first name. So you can see this is the dictionary. The name of the student, Chabo, last name, something like that. The first name is the key. Chabo is the value. Last name is the key. Sunga is the value. email is the key and the email address is the value. I create another one, second name, like that. Then I print them. Okay, so here, first name, Diana, last name, Kachinka, email address. Third student. These are dictionaries we're creating. So you can see, we are using a dictionary to represent a particular student and their details. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, and it works just fine. Third student, first name Limpo, last name Makamui, email address. Print. So I keep on doing this. There were about 8 students, if I'm not mistaken. So I create a bunch of dictionaries. So now I have 6. So now I have my students as dictionaries. Okay, then I create a dictionary called students. Okay, I create a dictionary called students. In this dictionary called students, I have the following keys. First, that is the key. Then, what is the value? This. First student. That is a dictionary. Second, that is a key. Then what is the value? Second student. Third, that's a key. The value, third student. Fourth, that is a key. Value, fourth student. Fifth, that is a key. Value, fifth student. Sixth, that's a key. Value that. I run. Can you see that the values are dictionaries? The dictionary is just created. Can you see that?
Yes.
So this is a case where you have a dictionary inside the dictionary. It's like a list inside the list. Even dictionaries can become values in other dictionaries. Yes. Like that. Then I print students. Here. First, that's a key. And the value is this dictionary. You see that? The key is first. The value is a dictionary. If I ask Python, what is it I think I've created with these students? I say type students. Python tells me it's just a dictionary. If it's a dictionary, then what are the keys? I can say student keys. The keys for students are these. This is a list of keys for the dictionary students. The keys are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And what are the values? The values are these dictionaries. The other dictionaries. Those are the values. Those are the values. Okay? So, with a dictionary of dictionaries, you can, since we're dealing with dictionaries, access the first student using the key first. Right? If I say students first, like this is what I get. I get a dictionary. Email comes first, first name, Chavo, last name, Sango. If I ask Python, what is this? Student first, here, type, student first. If I ask Python, Python tells me, boss, what you have is a dictionary. Okay? If what I have is a dictionary, this student first is a dictionary, I can actually access these other things, these other items as keys also, because I'm dealing with a dictionary, right? Right? I can access these other items as keys. So I can say students first, then first name. I do that. When I do that, I get child. Why am I using a key? I'm using a key because this guy is a dictionary. If that guy is a dictionary, then I can do the following. I can do this. Students first, right? If this is a dictionary, then I can do this. I can do this. I can run this. What keys does this thing come with? You see? This, if this is a dictionary, then you can ask for the keys to the dictionary. The keys it comes with are first name, last name, and email. So I can use one of these keys, like I've done here in the next brackets, to access a particular value. Again, this is, we are using two sets of brackets. This is what's also an example of subsetting. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
This is an example of subsetting where you use, now you're subsetting in a dictionary which contains another dictionary. Okay? The first key gives you the dictionary, then the next key gives you the item in that particular dictionary. You can say first name, last name. Since you got first name last, the first last name. This gives you the student's surname. Then students first, then the email address. That gives you the email address of the student. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
You can also decide to store dictionaries in a list. You can create these same students. You can just create it differently. You don't have to use dictionaries all the time. You can do this. You can create a list of students, student list, and this list contains dictionaries. First student, second student, third student, fourth student, fifth, sixth. Okay? Nothing stops you. A list can contain dictionaries. So you can instead of creating a dictionary of dictionaries, you can say, this is too complicated. Let me create a list of dictionaries. Is this clear?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can create a list of dictionaries. You do that, then you say student list. This is what you get. Each dictionary there. You get the email address of the student, the first name, the second name, and last name, comma. Then like that, just like that, you get a list of dictionaries like this. This is another way of storing information, which is related in a certain way. All this information is related. These are students and their details. The details of students for each particular student, all their details, whether they're taking a particular course, you can even say the result, how much was the result in this particular, you can still put it there. Okay? All this information can be stored, can be held for each student. You can have that information in a dictionary. Then once you have a dictionary, then you get these dictionaries, you put them in a list. Then you're in business. And what kind of business could you do with this? So this student list, what is it? You ask type. Type tells you this is a list. Okay, if it's a list, then we know how to access things in a list. What do we use? Index. If you are accessing things in a list, use an index. Index means position. What's the first item? What is the second item? What's the third item? What's the last item? Like that. Second last item. So you can use these indices. So you say student 0. Basically, you're saying, I want the first student in this list. This is the first student in this list. Then you ask yourself, this thing which I've done, this, what is it? You give it to type. When you give it to type, type tells you this is a dictionary. Okay? So you have a list, you access an item in that list, but you remember that this list you have is a list of dictionaries. So Python tells you, type tells you, the first item you have accessed is actually a dictionary. If the first item you have accessed is actually a dictionary, then it means that you can get the keys of this dictionary. You can say student list 0. Then you can say, okay, fine. This Python says this is a dictionary. I can say this. I can do this. You can get the keys of this dictionary. Then you run it. And Python gives you the keys. Dict keys. Dictionary names. First name. Keys. Last name. Email. Like that. So if you want to access anything in this dictionary, you need to use these keys. Is this clear how we are moving from a list to a dictionary back? And is this clear what you're doing?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes, it's clear. I just need to practice, I think.
Yeah.
Listening to it as you are explaining it, very clear.
Yes, of course it's very clear, Olga. And of course it needs practice. And I'll give you this thing after we're done with the lesson. Okay. Yeah. So this bit from here up to there, this bit is a dictionary. We know it from here. Student list 0, that's a dictionary. If that's a dictionary, it means that the rest if we want to access anything after this, we need to provide a key. Like first name, last name, email, for example here. Student, then the key. Because dictionaries don't use indices. Dictionaries use keys. Okay? So student lists like that. We get Chavo. Then last name, we get Sunga. Then email, this. This is the same student where we got his first name, Chavo, Sunga, differently. We did the same thing different here. In a dictionary, inside a dictionary. Remember? This is something we did. Students, first name, first name, Chavo. Student, first, last name, Sunga. Students, first, then email. This is the same guy. In the first instance, we stored the information, the dictionaries, these students as dictionary values. In this case, we have stored these students as a list of dictionaries. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically you are not there is more than one way of getting the answer. It's either you can go that way where you're using dictionaries, then you store the dictionaries, or you can come with a list of if you are comfortable with lists, you can say I'm going to go the list way, or you're going to go the dictionary way. It doesn't really matter. Then what if you want to empty a dictionary? For example, how do you do that? Okay, this is our dictionary. If you want to empty a dictionary, not delete it. If you want to empty a dictionary, you use this method, clear. Are we clear? You say EPO table dot clear. If you say EPO table dot clear, then it's going to remove all the key value pairs, like sweep them away. But the dictionary itself will still be there, except it to be empty. There. That's what happens. When you clear a dictionary, it becomes an empty dictionary using the clear method. Then the last bit is deleting a dictionary. You can delete a dictionary, all of it. Students, here we have this dictionary, students. Let's see how it works. Very simple. Then you're done. You have deleted the dictionary. Just a minute. Okay, so there is our dictionary. We ask for the type. What is students? The type of students. Okay, this is the dictionary. So we are sure that students a dictionary. Then if you want to delete it, like the way you delete the list, the whole tuple, the whole set, you just give it to delete. Say, guy, can you delete it? Then you try to print students again. Yeah, then the red pen comes out, telling you students no longer exists. We have come to the end about this thing, this structure called a dictionary. How do you build dictionaries? How do you access dictionaries? This whole thing. Any questions?
No question from me.
You don't have questions for
First,
now?
let me try to practice some, and if I have challenges, I'll ask.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a PDF which you can print out. So please, when I send you a PDF, go and print those things, step on them, then look at them and try to see what's happening. Okay? And also practice, because very soon you have to start doing your labs. All right. Any questions? If you don't have any questions, we have come to the end. So we just went by 3 minutes. This whole thing was related, so I just wanted to finish it, so that tomorrow when we meet, we do something else. So tomorrow we're going to start looking at strings. We have looked at strings a bit, where you put quotation marks here and there. Yeah, just a bit. And we have also, today we have introduced, I think this thing here, which I've introduced here, kind of like, okay, fine, a bit. But we'll talk eventually in the next 2 days. We'll look a lot at strings. So this whole thing will make sense, much more sense. Okay? So tomorrow is Tuesday, we'll start strings. Then Wednesday, we look at how to format strings. Then hopefully those other days, by the time we reach Friday, I think we should have done half of the Python we need to do. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So please, where you don't understand, where you're not following, let me know. Because as you can see, as I promised, certain things seem to come back from the last, what you learned last, it shows up here. Especially in this case, sets have made a very strong showing. Okay. All right. So we end here. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Have a blessed night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a blessed evening.
Good.